The white race, the most perfect of all the human races. School textbook from 1877, reprinted annually with only minor changes right up until 1977. The white made a man of the black. Victor Hugo, Discours sur l'Afrique, Actes et Paroles. Yes, there is without doubt a war between the races. But who started it? And who is prosecuting it? Georges Clemenceau. It is possible to give greater importance to the ideal of liberty than one gives to one's own life. In my opinion, an individual can't be free if others aren't. Dennis Goldberg. Introduction. A few years ago, I was invited to discuss a proposal for a major exhibition on the question of racism. The organisers wanted me to serve as the general curator of the exhibition, and I was deeply honoured to be entrusted with delivering its anti-racist message to the public. I planned to take an approach born of a situation I had experienced at a meeting in a government ministry. When it was time for those around the table to introduce themselves, I was asked about my work and that of my anti-racism foundation. I told them that we analysed how domination works within society. For instance, around that table, there were a lot more women than men. The chair of the meeting said, "Indeed, there are very few women." I replied, "To be honest, that's not the issue. The problem is that there are too many men." And right there in that moment, I could feel all those men staring at me, as though I had attacked them, rather than simply making an observation. This is why I explained that as curator of the exhibition, I wanted to adopt a different perspective. For far too long, whenever we speak about racism, we have concentrated on those on the receiving end of discrimination. And now, I was saying that we should instead focus on those who profit from this discrimination, often unconsciously and unintentionally. We needed to ask questions about something that is never questioned: whiteness. What does it mean to be white? How does one become white? Because people aren't born white, they become white. Have you ever seen someone whose skin is genuinely the same colour as a sheet of white paper? No, I'm sure you haven't. Then why do we say that a person is white? At what age does someone become white? When you think about it, isn't becoming white pretty similar to becoming a man in a society where men are educated to believe that they should be dominant? As I developed these ideas at the meeting, I could feel a growing disquiet around the room. People perceived to be white aren't used to being questioned about their skin colour and its potential meaning. I went on. If we want to make progress in our fight for equality, then we need white visitors to the exhibition to realise that they have been educated to see the colour of their skin as politically neutral. I could sense a feeling of incomprehension, maybe even hostility. It was as though a we had been formed, a we that was asking itself, what has he got against us? I realised that they felt attacked by my words. And maybe this is the point at which I should reveal that I was the only black person in the room. They felt attacked in the same way that men do when told that men have a superiority complex in relation to women. I hadn't accused anyone of being a horrible racist. But speaking about white domination, well, no, that just wasn't on. Unfortunately, the discussion of my role in the exhibition ended right there. This book is born of that unfinished dialogue. Why do most white people refuse to question this constructed identity? What's more, they don't even seem aware that they have a colour. Aren't black people described as people of colour? There's the proof that white people don't have a colour. So what colour are white people? In France, we talk about visible minorities. Does that mean white people are an invisible majority? The word white is almost never used in France to describe a particular segment of the population.